She's like, husband! And you're like, oh!
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, I'll come back here when I'm higher level. Like, I just put in so much time into this. I'm not just going to go start another one. The only one it leads you towards is the Zora one at the beginning of the game. It totally leads you towards that. That's good. But the issue when you have an open world Zelda game is that you either make all of the dungeons the same difficulty, so no matter what the order you stumble at them in, you can do it, but then it's too easy, or you make them varying difficulties and hope they stumble upon them in the right order because you went to no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because you just stumbled upon the desert second, which it's recommended that you do that one third. So you were way too underleveled, but you didn't just want to turn around and look for the other one. You had invested days of playing into getting to that one.
Yeah.
And you already got up on the Divine Beast. Leaving was not really an option at that point. Or I guess it was, but why would you? You know?
Yeah.
It's like this climactic build up all the way to the boss, and then it stops. You don't just want to stop before you get to the boss, the climax. You want to keep going. It's bad to just be like, well, bye. Like,
yeah.
You know, I think,
Oh, fuck.
so, no, I'll agree with your Thunderblight thing. Just because that was the game's issue that you got there first, it should give you more direction. I don't know.
Especially because it's not even the fact that it's just like stupid. Like, it's really hard to get an actual like, I don't know, strategy to that dude because just how stupid, absurdly fast he moves. Obviously, it's a stupid difficult boss, but the fact that all of them are so easy, like including the actual final boss, is stupidly. I almost like cried. I was so sad about how easy fucking the final, like, whatever they fucking called him, Ganon.
Calamity, whatever.
Calamity Ganon, yeah, fucking Christ. Yeah, that shit. Like, that, but, like, all of them are stupid easy, except for that one. That's stupid.
So,
that is stupid.
We cleared the first section.
Oh, yeah! There's a game going
We're
on.
playing a better game.
Yeah, my favorite.
Do you want to get food and just continue this later on?
No, I want to finish this argument.
Yeah,
first.
we're gonna
Get
finish
food
this
after.
beef
Jaden,
you started.
I'm like
Jaden.
75% of the way through. Just keep playing.
All right,
Dude, we got a
actually,
lot of opinions, especially you got a lot. You got a lot.
Do you want to play for a bit?
Do you not want to play it?
I need.
Go pee.
Well, go pee and we'll keep talking. Or CC will play or maybe not. Whatever happens. I want to keep talking about it as an open world game.
Also, please save. I don't want this to turn out anything bad.
Where?
It's save right there. One of my issues is that I told you moving around is really slow. That's kind of a stereotype of all open world games. But the difference with this one is that everything is the same in Breath of the Wild. It's like all the little, you can definitely find stuff along the way, but they're all just like kill 10 bokoblins and get a chest with a bad weapon.
Yeah.
I feel like when you do something like Skyrim, you're always stumbling upon different fun side quests, little random events.
Yeah.
Especially Fallout. I'll defend Fallout to the death. Fallout has so much good stuff while you're walking around, and enemy diversity and just different things to do while you're traveling from place to place. I think Breath of the Wild doesn't have that. Breath of the Wild, the entire map feels like the exact same thing.
No, especially because they base like the entire lead up to like them opening the game, like is the fact that like this, like didn't they say it was like some. Like, how much bigger than Skyrim?
10 times or something?
10 times. And we're all like, look at, there's so much stuff. They're gonna, like, jam-pack this map with, like, shit to do, just like they did Skyrim. Like, there's something in every corner of Skyrim that you could do.
Yeah.
And in this one, they just felt like, oh, what are we gonna do with this part of it? Here's a shrine.
No,
Here's a shrine.
I'll talk about that in a minute. No, exactly. Breath of the Wild, there's, like, no... It's hard for me to defend the moving around because it all feels the same. Basically, I talk about it like, I compare it to Mario Odyssey a lot because those are the two big games Nintendo released that year. And Mario Odyssey is semi-open world.
Yeah.
The thing that they did with Mario Odyssey that I think was genius and that they should have done.
I totally forgot where you go after the fucking forest.
I think you go back to the village.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking.
Anyways,
so
you're
I'm not. Basically, in Mario Odyssey, what it feels like they did is they made a linear path for every level that was just good and linear. And then whenever they thought of an idea to add on, they were like, oh, add on another little chunk of the map, and we'll put, like, these moons there. I've been brainstorming all night. I thought of this.
Yeah.
And so everything feels like there's something to do. Breath of the Wild feels like the opposite. It feels like they took a big box and they were like, all right, time to fill up everything. And then they couldn't think of anything to put in there.
Yeah.
Instead of just making a little linear path and then deciding what to add on based on what ideas you thought were great, it feels like they limited themselves by having to fill up everything. So they just had to be like, I can't think of anything, man. They were just like, I can't think of anything, man. Whatever, just drop another shrine in there, make an easy puzzle. And it'll just be, you know, it's like, it feels like they really skimped out. And I know that sounds lame. I know that it's just
And I get like a part of it was also it was so hard because they hyped it
Dude,
so
really,
hard and for so long.
Like in the very original, when they were still thinking about making a Zelda U, it was super ambitious. One of their original design ideas, not what they said they were going to do for sure, but an original design idea was to have an infinite map where they had like a set amount of stuff, but then after a while it was literally procedurally generated, so no matter what you could travel forever, and it was overly ambitious.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's ever going to do that. Minecraft technically, but Minecraft is a sandbox game. Most sandbox games have infinite worlds. That's the point of a sandbox game. We're talking about an open world game. It's way different than a sandbox game.
Yeah.
It is lackluster as an open world game in my opinion for these reasons I've been listing. You know, but bad side quests, boring world. Sure, the environments are pretty. You know, I'll talk about some more positives. I thought finding the two of the three dragons was fun. The red one never fucking appears anywhere.
Like the first, that was actually the first one I found. I think. Actually, no wait.
Really?
Was it that, or was it the orange? No, I found that. I found
it's yellow, red, and
the
blue or whatever. The green, yellow.
The green one, green yellowish one. I was like, what? I thought it was an enemy at first, and I'm like, holy shit.
No, me too.
Fucking dragon! What the fuck? And that was like cool and shocking. And then like a few days late, like few in-game days later, I was traveling like over by the snowy region where the fire one is, like in that canyon.
Oh,
and I was like, holy shit, there's another one? What the fuck? And I started like watch it go into the weird sky portal thing.
And I know at exactly that point your mind probably clicked with like, wait, Zelda's always three goddesses or three dragons.
Yeah.
Like, Well, I think one of the fun shrines, to focus on a positive, was the Blue Dragon Shrine.
Yeah.
Is it Nadra?
Nadra.
I think the blue one is Nadra. I could be wrong though. Where you like fly around and you take all of the calamity off of it and you fly around and it lifts you up. I thought that one was genuinely fun and worthwhile, and you had to get the special shoes and the special warming stuff to get to the very top of the mountain. It felt very cool. It felt super cool to me. I like that one a lot. I'll say, I don't think it's all negatives. I have some pretty good memories with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed the game.
I enjoyed it at parts. I'll talk about that later. I'm going to have like a final summary thing that I'm doing. I already have an idea. Basically, I'll get there in a minute. As an overall game, I think the main characters were cool. I think overall the characters were kind of fun. Even the minor characters felt like they had personality, and I think that's good. Maybe not as much dialogue option as I would have liked out of an open world game, but they still kind of all felt unique, and the side quest characters, even with the boring side quests, sometimes they were pretty fun, like personality-wise. I don't think that's necessarily negative. I won't rag on it for its characters. I think the characters were decent. And I like that the Zora people all remember you because they're old as shit. Yeah. I think that's really funny. The Zora area I think is the best area.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite. That's the only storyline that actually, like, I felt like I'm gonna go save the Zora, like, because the Divine Beast is, like, fucking spewing water everywhere and they're gonna die.
Yeah, no,
like, I felt like I'm gonna go help these people. Like, it felt like I felt really good doing it, and like it felt worth it to do it.
For sure.
And then you got into the shrine, you're like, because especially the first playthrough, I'm like, okay, they did. Like, I wonder what the other ones are gonna be like, because this is like pretty cool. Like the first time,
the very first time you do, you're like, that was decent, but I feel like it can get better. Let's see what they do with the other ones, and it's like, oh, it's the same.
I know. Like as soon as I walked into, especially because it was my first ever playthrough, it was Zora and Thunderblight. Do you remember?
I remember Joe was pissed because he couldn't beat it, and then I beat it, and he was even more pissed because I beat it.
I had to comfort him for like a day after that. I was like, it's okay.
He's chilled out though.
I know.
Well, because you're supposed to get the Master Sword before you fight Thunderblight, which you can't shock away from you. I feel like the basic formula for the game, the ideal formula, is you do Zora, you do bird people, what the fuck, Rita. Then you get the Master Sword, and then you do Gerudo, and then you do Goron, and then you beat the game. All doing the in-between stuff. But I feel like you go 1, 2, Master Sword, 3, 4. Is basically, I think, the ideal formula for the game. You don't want to get the Master Sword too early.
I think one playthrough I did it, I got the Master Sword first, and then everything became stupid easy. I'm like, okay, yeah, no.
Well, yeah, because the Master Sword makes the bosses way easier because it powers up.
Yeah.
You can't drop it, and like the Master Sword makes every boss so much easier, just because it powers up to what, like 100 for every boss or something like that.
It powers up to 60 for every boss.
Oh, it's the DLC that made it power up to 100 when you could like.
Does the DLC? Oh,
One
yeah,
of the DLCs.
like,
remember the Master Sword leveling up thing?
Yeah.
Where then eventually it's always powered up, and for bosses it goes to like 100.
Okay, I didn't know they changed it. I always like that's one of the things I was confused about is like because then it's just always then what's the point if it's just always 60? Because like I've gotten weapons that are like 70 before. Like that's.
Oh yeah, no, dude. There's people who farm like weapons end game. You can get like 128 strength weapons.
Yeah.
And shit like that. They're like really huge and really hard to find. But
oh, this boy.
I love this guy.
My boy.
This guy is bad.
My boy.
One example of great character.
There's a black wall that walks away. I thought there was a
There's a black wall, and you know how we feel about the blacks.
Wait, this wall isn't black.
Don't shoot! This man is not black.
Hold your fire! This man isn't black!
What? I fucking love that so
I
much.
still don't. What is the context?
Do you really want it?
Does it ruin the joke?
But yeah, because it makes sense. But the joke is, I'll say the joke is still funny because it's so funny to me in another context. Basically, the storyline of Dragon Ball Super, Goku there's like an evil Goku, and he's called Goku Black, and he looks like Goku, and he's going around killing all these, killing all these people, and predators just call him Black. And so when they see Goku, they think it's Goku Black. And so they're like, we're gonna shoot you for all the people you've killed. And then Trunks is like, stop! This man isn't black! And he means that he's not Goku Black, but without context, it's so funny that they're gonna shoot him. And he's like, wait, he's not black, he's not black!
There we are.
Anyways, I want to conclude my argument about it being not an open world game. I could go on for a bit longer. I think I'm going to do a detailed video on this at one point. I had so much passion for it. I still have a lot of passion for it when it first released. I want to do a kind of conclusion thing. I feel like the first maybe 4 or 5, maybe even 10 hours of the game are fun. When you're still discovering some new things, and you're still looking at new parts of the map, and you're still finding some fun side quests. And you know, the only 2 side quests I mentioned, those aren't the only 2 good ones. I can recall some others. The race up the hill is good, and the bomb bowling is kind of fun, and the shield surfing is kind of fun. I remember some more, but it feels like for the most part it wasn't overly great with the side quests, which is something that both Zelda games and open world games are known for.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of good aspects to Breath of the Wild. I feel like there's a lot of stuff it does really genuinely good, and I listed them. But I feel like overall you can find a better open world experience than Fallout or Skyrim or Oblivion, and you can find a better Zelda experience in Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword or Ocarina or Majora's or Wind Waker. For literally any of the 3D ones, I think offer a better Zelda experience, even the ones I don't like that much.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is like, well, if you're playing it for an open world game, which makes sense, a lot of people like open world games nowadays, so if you're playing it because of that, why not just play Oblivion? Or play Fallout New Vegas?
Or actually, like fucking the new hype for like Red Dead Redemption 2, like fucking I
Red Dead
loved Red Dead Redemption 1, and I fucking love
Red Dead play Red Dead Redemption 1 like that, or GTA 5, or GTA 4, or GTA 3, or Ballad of Gay Tony.
Yeah.
Like, if you like open world games, you have so many better options. But then let's say you're a Zelda fan, so you're going to play for a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Why would you when you can play this game that offers a better Zelda experience? And I get some people wanted a new Zelda game. I don't really think we got a new Zelda game as much as we got a new open world game. I just think you can find a pure experience on either side with other games. I think overall I would put it at maybe a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10. I would call it good. I think it is a good game. I don't think it does. I know I just talked for like an hour about why I don't like it, but I want to say at the very end of the day, I think if you just did the story stuff, if you weren't trying to get every shrine, if you moved through it, you had like a 30 hour playthrough, something like that, you would probably be at least relatively entertained most of the time. But also, that's another thing. Open world games and Zelda games are both known for 100%ing them, and 100%ing it is fucking asinine.
900.
999 Korok seeds.
Which is literally, they didn't explain to you. It's literally just shit.
I think they're fun for a little while. I think randomly stumbling upon them is fun.
Yeah.
Because that's how it should be. But when you're trying to get all 999, it fucking sucks.
Yeah, like what is the fucking point at that point?
It's like...
Like, and just even this part, like the fact that you like had to think, like, the bridge is gone. Wait, but wasn't there just, like, you had to actually, like, I loved that part, like, figuring out, because this is the reason why, like, one of the reasons it's my favorite Zelda game is because it's the first one that first ever Zelda game was Ocarina of Time, and I fucking loved that game, but then I played this one, and it's, like, the first one I ever actually truly remember playing to completion, like, without needing any, like, real outside help. Like, I actually did this game.
Yeah.
And I was so, like, I remember, I'm like, oh shit, there's just a bridge sitting in the fucking forest somewhere. And I remember, and it felt rewarding. Because it rewarded you for remembering where shit, like, you had to pay attention.
Yes, no, for sure. It feels like your choices don't matter in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to say, probably either a 6, I'll put it at a 6.5. No, I'll give it a 7, you know, because I don't want to piss people off too hard. I think it's an overall fun experience.
Yeah.
I had fun with it for a little while. I think at least a decent amount of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I could have spent my time playing a better game, though.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna drop some money on a game, it's not the worst game you can buy. There's definitely some fun parts of it.
Yeah.
The survival island I thought was cool.
Yeah,
See, there's
I
a
like
lot of
that.
positive aspects.
Yeah, I really like the survival
I
island.
want to say I've been really focusing on the negatives, and I feel like maybe I've even been a bit unfair in focusing on the negatives because there is a lot. There's a lot more I could talk about.
No, I did really enjoy I did genuinely enjoy the game.
There's a lot of stuff I could go back and
Yeah.
talk about enjoying, but the end of my argument, I want to say the end of my argument is not that it is a bad game, because by no means do I think it's bad. I think the game is just fine. I had a lot of fun with it. My argument is that it's overrated.
Yes.
IGN, if you remember, I started it with it. 10 out of 10. This is probably my favorite area in the game. IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. People always act like it's above criticism. People call it a perfect masterpiece or a perfect game.
It's getting Ocarina of Time treatment, and that pisses me off.
Exactly, it's getting the Ocarina treatment, and because we're past that now.
Yeah.
When Breath of the Wild dropped, people were like, "Wait, Ocarina is flawed." Everybody's seen the Ego Raptor video.
Yeah.
I want people to start thinking about Breath of the Wild like that, not as a bad game, because it's not a bad game.
Yeah.
Ocarina's not a bad game either, but they both at points are overrated.
Yeah.
They're completely overrated. Like, people act like they're above criticism, and I think that's unfair. Or people nowadays feel like Breath of the Wild is above criticism. People act like Breath of the Wild does no wrong when it does a lot wrong. It has a lot of flaws, and you know, it's not bad for a game to have flaws. I think this game has flaws. I think I told you too much mandatory combat as a wolf, especially near the end of the game. There's a really funny scene. The one scene where it plays Midna's Lament, and it's supposed to be really emotional and shit like that. It's constantly interrupted by combat, so it'll be like dum, dum, dun, 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 and then you do a combat, and then it's just dum, 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 dun, 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 dun. It's fucking hilarious. This game has way too much of that. This shit.
God, I fucking hate this.
This sucks. I won't defend this at all.
Yeah, no, this part can rot in hell. I hate it.
I want to say though, that's part of a good game, is that no game is without flaws.
Yeah.
I love this game. I would probably give this game a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
But it has flaws and it has boring parts.
I doubt we'll live to see a day that has a true 10 out of 10 game. Like, I would be, like, more than fucking shocked.
The closest 10 out of 10 experience, the closest for me. The only game I've given like a 9.5 is Mario Odyssey. As one game I would defend for fucking ever. Because I think you can experience that game in so many different ways.
And because that game is pretty gorgeous too. Like when you think, like people
No,
look at like
it looks
Breath of the
really
Wild for shit, but it's such a good, like it just looks good.
I don't like how everything looks different. Like every environment you go to is a different art style too, so it's all supposed to be different. No, I will defend Mario Odyssey for fucking ever. That game also has some flaws though, no worries.
Yeah.
As far as 100%ing it, 999 Moons is a little outrageous.
Yeah.
Like all that. And also, I don't like. I've talked about different ways you can fix this. I don't like that you buy the last 100.
Yeah.
And I can talk, or like 120 or whatever it is, because there's so many easy fixes. There's fix 1. Add 120 more moves, fine. That's less easy. It's kind of hard. Fix number 2, that I think is probably the one that they could have done. Make more moons that you find, maybe some of the harder side quests, make multi-moons more available. You know, they could have, 120? That's only around 40 or so of the regular moons. They could have just made 40 of their harder side quests into multi-moons.
Yeah.
I think that's super easy to do. And even if they were just even more lazy than that, you remember Toadette at the very end has all of these different moons that she gives you for achievements? Just make a bit more of that. Make, instead of the max amount of steps, 1 million steps or whatever to get it, make it 1.5 million. Or even just make more in-betweens. It felt so avoidable than making the last 100 whatever moons you buy them. That's one flaw with the game, I think. That's barely even a flaw. Again, that kind of comes down to me saying I want more of the game.
Yeah.
That game even has its share of flaws, though. Anyways, the conclusion of argument: Breath of the Wild is a 7 out of 10. Great game. I recommend it. You should experience it for yourself, but don't put it on a pedestal.
Yeah, just don't look at it through the fucking glass that people for years looked at Ocarina.
Yeah, and you know what? If you play the game, and if you personally say, I think this game was a 10 out of 10, and you have a different structured argument, then I would love to hear it, and I would love to hear your opinions about it. But don't be the idiots for years and years who looked at Ocarina and just because it was old and nostalgic said it's a perfect game, and anytime you brought up a flaw, they were like, no, you're wrong. Like, don't just read the IGN review and say it's a 10 out of 10 game because you read one review that said it was a 10 out of 10 game. Play the game for yourself, experience it for yourself, and then tell me how you feel.
Thank you.